Wow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mage,
This is Mega.
And Fearby!
and this is going to be a three-way cast, so this could be extremely interesting, and Magadansky already not off to a good start by not loading yet. There we go. So we're going to start in the bottom left corner where we have something Vova. I'm just going to refer to him as Vova or Pink, depending on how articulate I'm feeling. He's playing Orc. He's normally an undead player. He actually played me in his last match, and we suicided each other, essentially. In the top left, we have FaiL.Life, who is subbing in for Juan. Unfortunately, Juan could not make it due to work commitments. He is the only Night Elf in this match, and probably feeling a little bit outnumbered at this point. In the top right, we have SteppinRazor, who we actually did a cast on last night. He is playing Orc as well, as opposed to Night Elf, which can only get better, I think. Sorry, Steppin. And in the bottom right, we have Lightweight playing Orc, which hopefully means he will not be going solo Tinker the entire game, because that was really annoying.
And already we see something interesting coming from Lightweight. He has just a burrow.
Yes.
He's going
And now a
Headhunters
light in the warm room.
Headhunter's Dark Ranger, presumably.
or Tinker Headhunters.
God damn it, he better not go Tinker.
Yes! Please! Oh, Tinker Naga. That's what we need.
You missed out on Yaws going Tinker in his game. You would have liked it.
That's how I always play, is going Tinker. It's good. The power.
Actually, he played it pretty well in this game. Yos, I mean.
Yeah, Yaws did play well. He got kind of lucky, though, because his macro was not up to par with what it should be. His micro, obviously, pretty phenomenal, and he managed to make the Tinker work a little bit better than it should have. However, you got to think that if he had gone for something a little more traditional, he probably could have taken that game pretty easily if he was able to have mass TP or something along those lines.
Yeah, but you also have to consider that the factory of the Tinker is very, very good against tanks and breakers. Because of the splash and because of the normal attack type.
It's also really good against creeps. Yeah, you can't deny that.
That's also very
Except
true.
the flying ones. Those guys suck.
Alright, so I'm actually going to be squelching most of our players here because they're being really loud. So let me know if they actually say anything relevant, or just bring it up and we'll pretend that it was you that said it, and you'll look
Okay.
really
I
smart.
can. Well,
I mean,
let me just tell them. Say a
two
lot.
players
but-
that are chatting at the moment are Persuade and Rectify, and they never say anything relevant, so...
Yeah, they mostly just make fun of people, if we're being honest.
That's good for me. It's like an endless well of shit I can just make fun of people with. Take credit for all their words.
Oh, they're commenting my choice of color now.
Oh.
He only has 143. He should not be going that badly.
Not pack.
Maybe there are some spikes that are coming from his internet or something.
You know what this reminds me of? The line at the Cupcake Factory. You know, just it stops. Like you make a little bit of movement forward in the line, and then it just stops, and it feels like forever. And that's what this pause is.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you naturally have a 250 ms ping to BNet when you play it. So the fact that you have 110 less than that during the game is, well,
Yeah.
people should not be complaining. But anyway, we're back on the game here. We'll get
Yeah.
off my rant here, and it does look like we are getting a Headhunter opening for Vova as well, although he may actually just be going for a straight tech Blade Master. Life looking to be opening with a Ancient of War creep on his natural, and it looks like we'll have the typical Grunt Blade Master opening from Steppin. I don't know, have you guys have they called which way they want to go, clockwise or counterclockwise on the map for expanding yet?
FaiL.Life is pulling creeps with his Ancient of War.
Yeah, and that Wisp is now going to die.
And he went Demon Hunter, actually. I think that's a good choice for the map.
I like it. What do you think his next heroes are going to be then?
I think he'll go for the Panda next hero. It must be Panda, just the obligatory hero for Night Elf.
Yeah, I guess, but that's going to leave him third with only being able to get either the Keeper of the Grove or getting a Dark Ranger. I feel like Dark Ranger against Orc is just so important as well.
Tinker too.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Dark Ranger for Lightweight.
Okay, so Lightweight is actually going to be trying this game. That's good to know.
I'm disappointed.
Maybe Naga will be second.
I mean, it's always
Naga.
second when you're playing Orc.
Yeah.
It does look like
heroes.
Vova here apparently is just going to go ahead and either scout or harass with his Blade Master. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But interestingly enough, with 3 Orcs, every one of them has a different opening. We've got the Dark Ranger Headhunter opening for Lightweight. We've got the standard Grunt Blade Master opening for Steppan. And we've got the Quick Tech Blade Master Tower strategy from Vova so far. So, should be a pretty interesting game, I think.
I'm surprised Vova actually is not creeping the fountains of the other players. His Blade Master is just running around.
Well, you're supposed to scout with your hero. Experience for noobs, actually.
Yeah.
This
or
is
you
what
can
Grubby taught
cross-map
us.
harass somebody. Nope,
Vova.
just scouting. Moving on with the scouting.
It's a fake out.
It is. You know, maybe he's trying to fool people into thinking that he went Illusion first on his Blade Master, because who would think he'd actually scout with the hero? So he's actually playing some pretty good psychological mind games right now.
Except for the part where he actually attacked the peon and did damage.
Yeah, actually
Ignore
made
that.
damage to the peon.
So Vova here putting up a second War Mill. That's kind of interesting.
Second War Mill is for upgrades. I know this.
Yeah, it may also be because he placed the first one in a terrible position, but...
Yeah, actually he should have placed it on the right of his altar.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be right.
And it looks like FaiL.Life probably off to the best start here. He's going to be able to go and throw his second expansion down already. And the Demon Hunter is doing a lot of damage by itself with just the Ancient of War tanking. So probably not going to get rushed out early, he's hoping, since Vova is just a scouter and not a harasser. And this could work out very well for him, assuming he doesn't actually manage to kill this.
Oh, Vova just jacked LV. Yeah, that's going to be... Oh my god.
I missed
Except for
the second
claws
one.
+9 with the Blade
Here's the
Master.
second one. If he kills the headhunters now, this would be surely a suicide afterwards.
So he really is just going for harassing, it looks like. Should be putting up his bestiary soon, I'd guess, unless he's going for something completely unexpected. And he is trying to tower out the creep camps, however. Didn't quite get the placement right.
The creeps are not on camp.
No,
They're just
they are
not.
very mean creeps.
Oh. I feel like Volva, his first name is DNIWE? Is that it? Like Yahweh?
Maga,
DNIWE?
can you give us any help out here how to pronounce it?
I think because he's Russian, maybe he was trying to be like Niva or something, but I'm not completely sure about that. But let's just call him Vova. It's much easier.
That was my thought.
If I can't help but look at his name. And it's got a hyphen. And I just want to pronounce the hyphen.
You should just be calling him Moogle the Sly, because everybody knows Blade Master is actually the only important part of Orc. And
It's also the only unit he has.
yeah, so we can call him either Vova or Moogle the Sly. You can pick which one you want to do.
I like Moogle.
No, you have to pronounce the full name.
Moogle the Sly.
Ooh, Sly.
Sly.
So, Maga, who would you grade so far as having the best opening game so far?
So far, I think FaiL.Life has the best opening. He's already on its way to Tree of Eternity and has 2 expansions set up. And I think actually if he drops Ancient of Wind right now and immediately after the Eternity is finished, he can drop some roofs and chim somebody. You know?
Yep, I'd agree with that, and that's probably the smartest thing to do. He did pick up that Flute of Accuracy on the Demon Hunter, so that could help out quite a bit. Does lose that Archer.
He killed it.
Oh, he did? I didn't see that
With
part.
the Ancient of War, 2 hits.
Well.
It's kind of funny because he microed the Archer away from the Ancient of War while it was attacking it. I don't know what that was all about.
I wonder if he was actually trying to get the creeps to focus down the Ancient of War, or focus the Archer instead of the Ancient of War, because the Ancient of War was getting low there.
Could have been. Could have been.
And maybe let it hit one too many times.
Yeah, that's definitely an AI possibility.
So far, nobody has taken any of the middles. It does look like Lightweight's on his way here. So this could be a huge opportunity for Lightweight to go ahead and grab a pair of great items. Vova continuing to harass here. Everybody and anybody, it looks like. Going to go ahead and take that, gets level 2. And there goes the Dust, but Steppan not going to be able to do much versus him. However, usually by this point we'll see at least one, if not both, of the mid-left, mid-right camps creeped out on this map, and nobody's even tried to touch them so far, so this could be a huge opportunity for whoever manages to get himself out there.
Yeah, that's strange. Usually by that time already the spiders at least are cleaned up.
I was going to say, they're a relatively easy creep camp, and you get some pretty good rewards from them, so it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Does look like Steppan is about to get his second expansion up as well, as is Lightweight. Vova continues to not have an expansion, though, so if FaiL.Life decides to hit Vova, he could get quite a bit of experience, and Panda does come out second for FaiL.Life, so that part is on par. And Maga, who do you think he's going to manage to grab for his third hero later on?
That's a difficult choice. I suppose Keeper, but...
I don't see how you don't go for Keeper versus Orc. I mean, you need somebody to pin it down, and while Silence is incredibly important, it's just, there's no way to catch the Orc heroes without some sort of entangle unless you're going to micro Cyclone really well.
Could be a Priestess of the Moon. She's also useful.
Yeah, but he's already managed to grab a Flute of Accuracy, and in comes the Blade Master here. This could be a huge creep jack. Does not end up getting anything out of it, though. Oof. Terrible item with the Scroll of Reanimate Dead.
Yeah, that was close, actually. Really close.
Looks like Vova could not quite make his mind up if he wanted to grab that Panda or the creep there. He had some indecision, and he probably could have had one or the other, but manages to not get any of them. Life continuing to creep out with the creeps he bought here, and may actually manage to take down all these creeps while nobody's paying any attention.
Yeah. And actually, the Thunder Lizard is a very strong creep. With the clap, it's
the splash damage it does. Unfortunately, it does not look like it will survive.
Go.
Oh, maybe it will. Go, go, go! Run, Thunder Lizard, run! That spider's catching up on it. No, 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 no! Oh, I was rooting for it.
Can I just say, can you imagine like a concert hall full of Thunder Lizards clapping? Like, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
You have the worst puns.
That's just what
Can I just let you know that they are truly terrible?
Just like both paws.
What's the sound of Thunder Lizard clapping with only one paw?
It's pleasant, actually. It's not bad.
It's not ear breaking anymore.
Yeah, no. Normally it hurts a little bit, but with just one, it's kind of gentile. It's domestic.
Oh, okay. It does look like Vova has discovered that getting expansion is actually important, because he's going to go ahead and grab one now. Life, I'm guessing, is... Well, he's not building any Chimera Roosts yet, it doesn't look like. But he's in really good position to go ahead and take somebody out soon if he wanted to. However, the longer he waits, obviously, the harder that's going to be.
He actually still didn't have any Ancient of Wind.
He's got one at his expansion currently.
That Blade Master, Moogle the Sly. Oh god, yeah. It's solo.
Moogle's just playing it a little risky, Some people want some adrenaline rushes, and can you really blame him for that?
Yeah, I can.
Oh.
Scaring the shit out of me.
You're a jerk.
Well,
you're not very understanding.
I won't deny that.
Does look like Lightweight is going to be the one that manages to grab the second creep camp now, pretty easily taking down this Broodmother, and with his Shadow Hunter out, this should not be much of a challenge for him. Does
Inferno Stone for Lightweight.
Sorry, who was I saying had it?
Lightweight got an Inferno Stone from the spiders.
Yes, he did. I was looking for the item. I was like, where is it? So he managed to grab that, and he also has the Flute of Accuracy, which I hadn't noticed earlier, so that'll do him well. And in comes Vova. This could be huge if that Dark Ranger does go down to Vova. This is going to piss Lightweight off, so we can guess who Lightweight's going to go ahead and hit, but there is no... In fact, he does not have a TP on any hero now, so... Wow. Vova manages to come and do some damage. He better be ready for the Lightweight machine.
He must go in 80 right now. Oh no, not yet.
Vova is living risky right now.
Look, he's even admitting to the map hack. See? He knows.
Goes ahead and burns off that invulnerability to grab another pack.
Claw, yeah. Wow. Oh man. This game is already promising.
I was going to say, this should be chaotic soon.
It's really good for Vova that he's getting these creep jacks and stuff, because he wasn't creeping, and it does actually let him start to catch back up on the experience.
It does, but you have to be careful how many people you piss off.
Well, if you piss off everyone equally, then you only have a small chance of getting three-way teamed, right?
No, you've got a pretty good chance of it.
I think actually, if he goes with the Wyverns right now at Lightweight's expansion, he would be in huge trouble. They're both unprotected at all, and but his Wyverns are just idling.
Yeah,
right
they're
here.
also 0/0 upgrade, so if Lightweight was able to pump out a few bats, that would do quite a bit of damage to them.
Don't worry, he's got double war mill. He's covered.
Yeah, and he's taking actually the spiked barricades out of one of the war mills.
There you go. Vova does manage to hit level 5 on that Blade Master. Steppan's getting a little fed up with it, and then comes FaiL.Life here going for a ground army, it looks like. Actually, I'm not sure what type of army he's going. He does not have much production in general right now. He does have a bunch of Hippogriffs that'll come in and dominate these Wind Riders, though, and the main problem for Life I see at the moment is going to be these towers and the stupid Blade Master.
Don't worry, he's got it cursed. It's hopeful and entangled.
There's no staff on any of Life's heroes right now, which could be a problem. Down goes that bear to the towers. As I mentioned, the tower is probably going to be the MVP in this fight. But there goes off an entangle. We should see... Yep, TP out there. So, interesting early engagement here. Life in pretty good position to continue to push right now. He does have the Shaman, which can cast Rejuvenation, although not quite at the mana it needs to do that.
Actually, it does.
Oh, it's 150, not 200?
Yeah.
Okay. And Vova going ahead and saying GG. I wonder if he actually is going to leave, or if he is just trying to use a little manip right now.
Who's the second person he's fighting?
Well, he may be
Or is
actually
this
thinking
Nip?
3 because he hit both Steppan and Lightweight. He may be confused as to what it means to be 2v1.
I think it's a clever idea. Maybe he can force Red to back off after this and stay in the game. See, he's taking, he's selling everyone. Yeah.
I think actually he wants Lightweight to stay away because for sure now Lightweight is also 80 food supply, and he will surely go for pink for Vova.
Yeah, managing to kill 2 heroes off is an offense that will not be forgiven easily.
Yeah,
I'd forgive it.
Lightweight is going for Demolishers too.
I'm a nice guy.
You're really not, but
Yeah, he wants to
Frank,
kill Vova.
yourself.
That's for sure.
and it does look like Steppan can be the one to grab these 2 middle reds. So while everybody else is distracted, it's really going to pay off for him. He should be able to take these down relatively easily, I think, with the healing wards from the doctors there. So a nice combination, not very many units that Steppan's using, but should pay off nicely. Crown of Kings +5, great item for him.
So I'm surprised Life with all the hippogriffs that he had. He could take one of the Hydras and the Dragons.
Yeah, you'd think he would be right now. And Lightweight going to be in great position probably to go ahead and camp by the mana fountain. Vova's... Where did Vova's Blade Master go?
It's just in the mix.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I can't see it anymore.
Just walked in and got owned.
And
Fight!
this will
Okay.
be interesting. I'm not sure why Life is hitting Lightweight, but Lightweight is saying, nope, my person to go ahead and kill. And yeah, this is not going to end well for Vova. That's all I can predict right now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He's completely based his army to fight Life as well, and has nothing that's going to counter Lightweight well. And there goes that Hex, and we could see that Stomp followed up right now. And yep, there it is. So down goes the Demon Hunter, I think. It is just, yep, there's no staff to get him out. So down goes the Demon Hunter. There are no more TPs on either of Life's heroes. However, Lightweight decides to be lenient and let him go there. Could have ended even worse for FaiL.Life than it did.
How can you not have a staff
I
as
don't
a
know.
night elf?
You'd think that'd be important. And Vova just can
bad
go ahead
play.
and harass his expansions now, so it's going to be a question of how quickly can Lightweight manage to take down Vova, and how much damage can Vova inflict in the meantime. We are going to see Steppan go ahead and grab his second red camp here. He's going to be in very good shape with probably 5-4-3 heroes by the time all is said and done, and grabs a Mask of Death, which will go great on that Blade Master.
He doesn't have fire on the bats.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem for Vova.
Oh god.
I'm thinking right now probably Steppen is wondering where are the guys. I mean, it should be competitive in the middle. Like everybody's trying to
Creep jack each other and
get
all
the
that.
creeps.
I like
think
that
I
the
think
Shadow Hunter is using Mask of Death right now. That's amusing me.
I have to say I think Pink's actually playing better than it would look at first. He's still alive.
Are we judging this purely by based off being alive?
At this point, yeah, for him, he's
Life is taking his natural. Wow.
That's bold. Ooh,
Yeah.
good silence
that's
there.
cool.
Does manage to pop off the potion, so Blade Master is going to get itself away there. And Lightweight just building a few bats here to go ahead and counter Vova's bats when he finds him again.
if he can.
Interesting
That
tower
respect.
placements from Lightweight, I must say.
From who?
From Lightweight, I mean, they're completely out of the base.
Oh, okay, I see.
I
Yeah.
wonder if he's preparing for a ground orc army. That's the only thing I can really think of. However, if you're getting hit by Torn, then those tower placements probably aren't terrible, since you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about the Chimeras coming in. On the other hand, Chimeras are going to love this base.
That's true. But chimeras don't really care about towers anyway, do they?
They die pretty quickly to orc towers. You have to be patient.
Yeah, but I mean, they have like ridiculous range, don't they?
Once you
I think
upgrade
it's
them, yeah.
just 50 range over the Orc Tower, so sometimes actually the Orc Towers can hit them.
Yeah, it depends on if you how you
Like-
line them up, essentially.
Yeah.
And in comes a TP just to take care of this Blade Master. And I'm not sure he's aware that there is a ward there. However, there goes the Hex. Hex is going to wear off pretty quickly, though. And Windwalk should allow it to get away. But, ooh,
Okay,
nice purge.
maybe.
Oh, he's running right into another one.
Yep, so not going to manage to get away there. Still have not gotten the Stomp off yet. Lightweight doing a very nice job of using Purge
Or
to go
maybe
ahead and
the
do it. And
towers,
towers
will
are
get
going
it.
to get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
towers go.
Beautiful kill, but a little bit of a waste at the end. However, I'm sure Lightweight is just happy that it's gone.
yeah.
And
That's
Vova
true.
doing some good damage to this Tree of Life with that peon.
Well-
Steppen's 80.
Steppen's bored.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to hoard by now, although he's in the lead
Yep.
with 8k.
Be interesting to see how he does, because I think he's actually in very good shape to go ahead and fight Life right now. Although Life does have quite a significant amount of Hippogriffs in his army.
He just has 4 bats. That's not enough. What are the upgrades of Life? Yeah, he's fully upgraded.
Yeah, although Life only has 2 Chimeras, so if you go ahead and Hex one of them, 3 bats on the second one to take it out, you could probably pretty much put the Chimeras out of action. It'll depend on how well Steppen uses his bats, I think.
He should go in front with the hippogriffs to kill the bats.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not doing that.
For your Night Elf, that's the most important thing, is try to make them waste those bats, because you really need the Chimeras to do as much damage as possible. And Vova has managed to get the fire upgrade now, so Lightweight is going to have an annoyance there, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Steppen does not have the upgrade, however.
Yeah.
And there we go, we got the Hippogriffs coming
Yeah,
in, so this is going to be
correct.
the end of those bats, and Steppen realizes that's not what he wants to use the bats on, however, it's not going to help him out at all. Still, I like Steppen's chances versus Life. Life is at 97, however, he has not gotten the rest of his army to here yet. Panda looking pretty low there, does have a potion, going to go ahead and pop that, and down goes a Tauren right there. Panda continuing to look really low, down it goes. Still don't see any staffs on any of FaiL.Life's heroes, so that is the main problem for him right now. Could be going a lot differently were they on his Demon Hunter or Keeper of the Grove. They're going to go down to the imbalanced Blade Master right now. It has a Crown of Kings, Claws 9, and Mask of Death on it, so that Blade Master late game is going to be a terror to deal with.
Yeah.
And also, he was using Mana Burn on Blade Master, which is kind of pointless. He should be using this on the Tauren Chieftain,
Yep.
because 1 burn means just 1 stomp left. And he didn't use, and still, again on the Blade Master.
Yeah, I think he's focused on trying to kill the Blade Master, maybe. I'm not sure what the intention behind that is. Down goes a Chimera there. Steppen looking in pretty good fight in this right now. He is focusing that Tauren Chieftain and no longer has any mana on it. However, actually no mana on pretty much all of his heroes, but in come the bats right now, do huge damage to that Chimera. Pretty much no true DPS for Life at this point. Yeah, that hero, Blademaster itself, just doing so much damage, and Shadowhunter should have enough for another Hex momentarily, I believe. Chasing the bat down there, we do have a quick siege going on here. The Blademaster looking very low for Vova as well, and Blademaster is going to go down there. Following this up, we do have the Demon Hunter looking low. It's got a TP on it and will get out just in time. So both Lightweight and Steppan doing great work keeping their sides down, and could be a question of who manages to finish who first. Vova probably going to be the one to get knocked out first, and then it'll be a question of does Steppan continue to try and take Life out, or will they 2v1 Lightweight?
I don't think actually Steppan can take down Life pretty easily, because he has a lot of gold and 100 supply army, an extra expansion also.
You'd think, however, Steppan does have 10k, and Steppan has not come close to losing any of their fights so far. I mean, he is just dominating them at the moment. Life not playing it correctly, and if Life turns his micro around a little bit, I think it's probably true. However, if it continues like it has so far, then I just see Steppan's heroes continuing to get fed.
Yeah, that can be a result.
Mag is like, you have no idea what you're talking about, Mage. Just stop talking.
Well, Steppan's got 10k gold.
I was just checking Lightweight's heroes. Actually, he's catching up on gold. He already has 6k. His Thorin is level 5, halfway through level 6.
And he hasn't had to break to 100 yet either, which is helpful for him. He continues to have pretty big wood problems, though. I mean, he's only got 220 right now, and he's moved all of his wood peons to his expansion. So I'm not sure if Vova hit him early on and hurt with that, or if it's just the map that's causing the wood issues.
It's a crappy map for wood.
It's both. Usually the best location to mine wood is here, usually at the natural expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do not set up a war mill or whatever at an early stage, and they suffer from wood issues afterwards.
Not something we Night Elves have to deal with, because we are clearly better than you all.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. There you go.
It does look like Vova is going to get himself knocked out momentarily. I'm not sure if he's waiting around to observe or what exactly. However, he has moved a peon over here. However, it doesn't look like he's going to try and hide any buildings. At least not yet.
I think his goal has been to annoy Orange, and making him take longer has got to be annoying.
That's true. Steppan coming in here to hit Lightweight. So Steppan has changed his target, and this could be an interesting fight too. I don't think that they match up very well right now for Steppan.
Yeah,
that's a lot of bats that aren't going to be doing much.
Ooh. And he's going to fight?
Yep,
for some reason.
Lightweight thinking that he's okay with this fight. Just a quick point, Lightweight doesn't have any extra TPs on his heroes right now. So if he needs to get away, he is unable to, and that Shadowhunter going to go down did have the potion of vulnerability, have a nice stomp on Lightweight's point. Lightweight has hit 6 on his Tauren Chieftain, and Steppan going to go ahead and get out of here, discovering that, no, this was not a good fight to take for me.
Yeah, that was a very bad decision to fight there. I mean, he had no Taurens. He had just massive amount of useless bats. I do not know why he decided that it's a good idea.
Yeah, and interesting that he didn't try to take down the Great Hall more. I mean, with that many bats, you'd think he might be able to get it off before Lightweight could TP in there. However, he actually seemed more interested in actually fighting Lightweight than he did doing damage to his economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, when I look at the army types right now, I don't know if Lightweight could really fight FaiL.Life. It's kind of like we almost have like a rock, paper, scissors going on, I think.
I think it's very similar to that. On the other hand, Lightweight is able to pump out the units he'd need to fight FaiL.Life very quickly, as opposed to Steppan, who cannot quickly produce an army that is capable of taking on Lightweight's army.
That's true.
And Life actually in the fortunate position here that his army is pretty good versus both of them. I mean, unless either of them is going to switch over to Wyverns, then going very heavy on the Chimeras is your best bet versus both ground and mass bats.
The issue is that his hero levels are very low. It's just 533, so that's going to be...
It's actually
Yeah.
a good point.
He really needs to hit 6 on that Demon Hunter, since the Demon Hunter really not nearly as useful until he can get meta and do Chaos Splash damage.
Also 5 on the Panda.
Yeah, that's true
So
too.
far, he's just level 3.
That one's a little
4.
far away, unfortunately, for him. And Life going to go ahead and abandon this expansion, I think. Probably a smart move on his part. He doesn't really have what it takes to take him. I'm not sure. I think Life should just go to 100. I don't think he's going to win either of the 80 versus 80 fights, but if he switches it to 100, he could probably get that experience he needs.
Yeah.
And that is a hard call to make. Do you want to stay at 80? I mean, you're going to get more gold that way, obviously. And if everybody else is at 80, it feels like you're losing out. However, sometimes you just need to go ahead and make the gut call that you're not going to win this without managing to go up to 100. And especially in Night Elf case. I mean, there's the old joke that Night Elf, you're either 50 or 100. There's no 80.
Especially
Is that an
with
old
3
joke?
expansions. That's a lot of wisps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think actually his better choice right now is to stay 50. It's a bit risky, but to me it seems like Steppan is eager to fight again, lightweight, and he can afford staying 50 at least for a while. Can get a lot of gold.
Yeah,
this way.
absolutely. And he's got several useless things here. Like, he's still got that Shadow Dancer running around, so he'd probably have to kill off 4 Chimeras, and then, I don't know, maybe he has a few extra Wood Wisps flying around somewhere. He has almost
he has
drained
enough.
the 12 o'clock mine, so that one's almost out. And his natural, so the only one with more than 5,000 at the moment is the 9 o'clock mine. He has completely drained his main. Interestingly enough, nobody has decided to save any of the gold in their main. Especially on Death Throws, that's something you'll see quite a bit, is players will pull off their Wisps, Peons, Peasants, whatever, earlier to save that for later on. Steppan... Steppan's not... Oh, Steppan does become visible there, and... no Entangle, unfortunately.
You know, Pink has a decent chance in this game.
He's got them right where he wants them, I think.
He's got a Blade Master. So that
He actually
he's in the
hides
game.
burrows.
He is hiding burrows, however, he has been revealed as well already.
One burrow. You know.
I think lightweights can go ahead and kill that pretty soon. So something that I think...
annoying for a final time.
That's true.
Yes.
Something I think that Life might have missed out on earlier was he still has that Potion of Healing on his Demon Hunter. There is a Mask of Death available. I think that Life probably should have gone ahead and picked that up on the Demon Hunter. Once you get level 6, that would do an incredible amount to help bring it back. And he also picked up the Demonic Figurine on his Keeper of the Grove. At least I think he bought that and didn't get that creeping. So that is kind of an interesting choice. Personally, I'm not that big a fan of it, but every little bit helps, I suppose.
Yeah.
It can be good to use against or ground army, actually. With Stomp, you can...
That's true, but figurines get dispelled, don't they?
Yeah, but it takes a lot of dispel to... I think he has like 1,800 HP,
Okay.
maybe. So that would take a while.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Vova.
See you later.
Rest in peace.
So we found one more
Good night,
person who's
sweet
not
prince.
qualifying.
Sweet Prince.
Is there something you're not telling us here? Are you a little more engaged in Vova than you'd think you would be?
I like Vova. I'm sad that he didn't qualify. I want to see more of him. But you know, it's how the cookie crumbles.
Lightweight is actually getting his revenge on Moogle the Sly right now with a single tower.
Ugh.
So
That will take a while. Actually, not that much.
I was gonna say we better hope it doesn't take a while because this stream is just focusing on Moogle right up until he dies. So if anything else happens during the game, you're all fucked.
Yeah. What?
Come on, Moogle. I suppose I should actually go watch this empty expansion die.
He has a potion of invulnerability. He just won't use it. I don't know what's going on with Moogle.
He's kind of new to the game, I think. Might be his first time
Could
playing.
windwalk. He's making a classic mistake right now.
Down it goes.
Oh. Wow.
So
What a
Steppan
noob.
has gone up to 91. Looks like Steppans can go full 100. Lightweight content to remain at 80, and Life content to remain at 80 as well.
Oh,
Up goes.
there's still creeps here.
Yep.
Creeps blend in on this map a little bit on the mini map.
Yeah,
Does
I
look
was
like we're
thinking
gonna
that it's a
play-
bug or something, but there were actually creeps there.
So we are going to get 2v1 on lightweight right now. FaiL.Life continues to march right past Steppan's expansion, so not picking a fight with him. And it does look like lightweight is going to try and take Steppan 80v100. You mentioned lightweight's towers earlier, Maga. What do you think about Steppan's base setup here?
Steppen's base, well, seems very nice, but he's actually food blocked right now. Oh man, that's a classic mistake. He should make. Does he? Yeah, he has a lot of peons. His main base. What I don't understand is why he's cutting the wood out of around the fountain of mana. That way, he's just giving more room for anyone invading. In this case, lightweight.
Well, you see, he thought the Fountain of Mana was really nice. However, it was kind of hard to find in the middle of the forest. So he's actually going to set up a tourist shop here, and he needs to get rid of the forest in order to do that. Lightweight not going to be able to save this expansion, and should... Oh, and he comes from the other side, though.
Lightweight is also food blocked.
Yeah, you're correct. He's food blocked to 80, so hopefully he won't need to go above that. And Chimera is doing pretty good damage right now. They did not get taken down by the bats early on. Would be nice if he had a staff. Doomguard is coming out here. So Life continuing to... There we go. Down goes that Chimera. That's going to hurt him pretty badly. Life has pretty much lost this fight, and now it's a question of will he get out. This Keep of the Grove, no TP on it. Looks like it's going to die momentarily because there are no staff still. Not that we've mentioned that before, but, you know, what can you do?
7 HP. It survives.
Yep. Apparently, Lightweight was feeling merciful today. On the other hand, this Mojo Dark Ale may die.
I think he's dying. Or
Mojo gets a nice TP pass, going to go ahead and get out now, and it does look like...
Wow, that was really lucky. And
Yeah.
still no staff. That's
Steppan
unbelievable.
coming in here. Steppan could take huge advantage of Lightweight's inability to get to above 80 food right now.
Oh my.
Not
Yeah.
quite enough Wyverns in Steppan's army at the moment to make a true hard push against Lightweight, I don't think. And maybe challenging to take these towers down. However, Steppan's sure in good shape to make sure that Lightweight's not getting any more gold, at least. Does look like Lightweight going to go ahead and build up some extra burrows, hopefully. Maybe.
Yeah, well, he kind of has just one full army left with this gold.
Yeah.
And his heroes, okay, they're the past levels, but their items are pretty bad, actually. The Dark Ranger has a mantle of intelligence.
Yeah, especially compared to the other two who have been buying items for most of the game now. On the other hand, he does have the Dark Ranger, so he can charm parts of Steppan's army, which will synergize very well with his army. But Steppan, good shape here to get some extra experience. I mean, he's actually probably the lowest now. I'd need to check on the hero levels that Life has. They're both pretty low compared to Lightweight. So if he wants to take full advantage of this Blade Master, he's going to need to do well in one of these fights. And in comes the Torn Chieftain to lead the charge here, or just walk by, whichever.
What's happening?
I don't know.
That was a weird silence.
Well, he got a Torn. That's something. And
It's good.
TP over to Life, so we're going to have a change of players here being
The Blade Master didn't
attacked.
TP. Oh man, that's the Blade Master didn't TP.
Yep.
But Life is not realizing this. He doesn't
As I
know.
say, Life just can go ahead and back up here and not try and take the fight. But Life is up to 100 now, so nice move on his part, I think, to do that. And he's going to continue to just walk things down here to try and take it out. He's also got one of the last working expansions. Once Steppan will have to get his back up. And Steppan only has one peon at his top natural expansion currently.
Yeah.
He has to kill a wyvern or something too.
He could just move some wood peons. He's actually doing pretty well
Oh,
with
yeah?
wood right now. And he's got plenty of them over there at his new tourist location.
Hmm. And actually, the placement of the new burrows is again very, very bad.
Does look like we're going to
Gets
have a
attacked.
full fight here. And Lightweight continuing to abuse Charm. I mean, taking over all those Torns, really not helping him. Steppan is going to do a decent amount of damage, but Lightweight beautifully moving these Wyverns back here, and that Bat does not manage to do it, so he is going to lose a lot more than he should have there. Lightweight at 85, Steppan at 58, so despite the fact that Steppan started at 80 and Lightweight started at 75, Lightweight has managed to turn this around in his favor quite well, and Steppan going to be forced to TP out here because he is getting absolutely decimated, and down goes that Shadow Hunter. Ooh.
Wow.
Lightweight really now needs to be heavily 2v1'd, unfortunately. I mean, you don't like to say that, however, he is dominating this right now. And I don't think either one of them can take him individually 1v1 at this point, although his economy is certainly not up to where everybody else is, and Life realizing that he has, well, hoping that he should have Lightweight at a disadvantage, however, he doesn't realize that Lightweight actually did not lose any food here, and this is not going to be a good fight for Life, I don't think. We have one staff on the Demon Hunter now, so that should help him out.
Actually, all the casters were clumped.
Yeah, and that's actually a lot more chimeras. I forgot that Life had gone up to 100, but in comes this Inferno for Lightweight, so that should help out a little bit here. And Keep of the Grove being forced to back up again. We got 66 for Life and 71 for Lightweight. So Lightweight managing to turn this around in his favor again, and that Demon Hunter just barely escapes there.
Yeah, but it hit level 6 though.
It did hit level 6, so that's going to be a huge milestone in the Demon Hunter's life. I mean, he's basically gone through puberty, and he is a man now. And hopefully he'll stop being a little pussyfooted bitch.
Isn't he like millions of years old?
You know, some people go through
I
puberty
think like
at different
10,000
levels.
years old, actually.
10,000.
Don't make fun of him. Just because you went through puberty before he did is no reason to make fun of him.
Well, is it? I mean, 10,000 is a kind of, you know, maybe a long time.
You know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's not for us to judge.
Oh, it's for me to judge. I don't know what you're talking about. I judge everybody. And
Steppan
everything.
going to go ahead and just attack the Inferno with his peons. Apparently not even going to make an effort to try and save those.
He wants to get rid of them.
Apparently so.
Figures, why not?
So we do have a mine with 240 gold in it that is unoccupied, but aside from that, the mine with the Inferno really the big one, and the only remaining mine that has any value. So I'm not sure how much freefall you've watched Purity, but however, whoever takes this mine is almost certainly going to get teamed, or at least killed instantaneously. Nobody likes one person that has a good mine when nobody else does, and this is probably going to hurt Life the worst, because he has drained his natural. He's going to get rid of the 9 o'clock mine soon, and it'll be kind of natural for him to go down to this next mine. However, I suspect Lightweight and Steppan will both take exception to that.
And also the fact that Lightweight is winning his battles so convincingly actually can be bad for him, because now they're convinced he should be taken out.
Yep.
And he doesn't have a lot of gold. He should, as I mentioned, his items and heroes are not stacked at all. So
and his base is very vulnerable, both to bats and to chimeras at the moment. I mean, he has this group of towers out in front of his base. However, that's not going to do him a whole lot of good. And in comes FaiL.Life here. He is losing a lot of his units. I'm not sure what's going on, but down goes that Keep of the Grove, and he's got units just running by. I don't know if he was caught off guard, but this could be the Demon Hunter going down too, and the Demon Hunter does go down. So Lightweight crushing right now.
Crushing. It's almost like Russian. He's the Russian crusher.
If we had a Russian player in the game that was not knocked out already, then we could use that. However, unfortunately, it will not work.
The crushing Russian.
The Russian be crushing.
Is that offensive? I hope not.
You're worrying about being offensive now?
Well, only because MAGA's here.
Oh, okay.
but I'm not Russian, so...
Are you like Ukrainian?
No, I'm Bulgarian.
You're Bulgarian?
Were you a part of the USSR at any point?
Nope.
Well, there you go. You're okay.
Sorry.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, wait. Do we need to have like the McCarthy trials for FML? Are you a communist currently? Have you ever known a communist? Do you agree with any of the Communist Party?
Well, actually, I was born in the People's Republic of Bulgaria, because by that time, 88, it was still, a People's Republic. But in 89, we were now a democracy, so...
You know what the People's Republic reminds me of? North Korea.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. And also China, it's still a People's Republic of China. Still the same.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the official name of the country.
That is such a misnamed country.
Just a bit. So what do you think about Lightweight's decision to A, go up to 100 right now, which I think is the perfect decision since he no longer has a gold mine, and B, to use a TP so that he can ensure he gets a good positioning here?
It's good.
It's going to be actually. I don't know. I'm not an expert in Orc Mirror, obviously, but in my opinion, whoever gets the bats first, and that's going to be Lightweight.
Yep, does look like Lightweight got this off earliest. Although Steppan still has a 6-foot advantage over him right now, and he has quite a few Wyverns that are low, but being healed back up. However, we do have that Tauren Chieftain looking very low. It does have a TP on it, does get a Stomp off to protect it, but this could be the end of the Tauren Chieftain. The moment down goes the Tauren Chieftain, Lightweight's hero is continuing to go ahead and get up.
Focusing a level 8 Tauren Chieftain.
Because it's not like it can come back to life or anything. Once you kill it, it's dead.
He was using his entire army to focus a level 8 Tauren Chieftain.
But Maga, once you kill it once, it's dead for good.
It also had 9 armor.
Oh,
Man. And a Ring of Regeneration.
And its eyes are glowing.
Yes, Persuade, yes. I agree.
What are you agreeing with Persuade? No one can see it.
He's talking in the chat.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So it does look like Lightweight going to go ahead and try to finish off Steppan now. Steppan saying it's his last army, which kind of true. He can probably build a little bit more up. However, he does not have very much gold. He has managed to blow through about 8,000 trying to take Lightweight down. And Lightweight, you got to think, would be trying to rebuild an expansion at the moment. However, it does not appear to be happening.
I think he realized that if he rebuilds the expansion, that's just lost money. It will get destroyed again. So
Yeah.
I think it's the correct move. He's going to try to kill somebody, although he goes for Steppan, who actually is now broke. FaiL.Life has still 5k and 100 food army, so in my opinion, what Steppan should be doing is focus the Dark Ranger. It just has 800 HP, no items, no invulnerability potion. Can go down very easily. But
so maybe you can tell me,
focus
Maggot,
on
why
Tauren
is
Chieftain.
Steppan not using the bats currently? He had a great time when Lightweight had all his Wind Riders clumped up right here. I mean, he's got the... There we go. Look, he's just even bringing a few out here, but he's not using them. It seems like this would be a good time to go ahead and use your bats to take out the Wind Riders that are doing massive amounts of damage to your base. Am I incorrect?
Actually, I'm surprised. Lightweight could have charmed the bat and just killed a...
couple other bats.
Yeah, actually, he could have done that.
Maybe he's trying to save it for grabbing another Wind Rider or something, thinking long-term versus FaiL.Life. I don't know.
I don't know, but now we see precisely why cutting the forest was a very bad decision, because Lightweight easily took control over the Fountain of Mana.
He's essentially turned
Which-
Steppan's base into his own base.
Yeah, now he can heal infinitely and now use Shockwave or something.
There we go, there's a charm.
Yeah.
Goes for a Tauren this time, actually, so... Interesting choice on his part, however, it does mean that he will be able to revive it with the Tauren, with the Spirit Walkers once it dies, and it means that Steppan will not be able to revive
He's
his.
still not using the bats.
In comes
They're
FaiL.Life
now.
here, so...
Okay.
Yep,
now.
we are going to get a TP out there. Probably a smart move on his part. Lightweight saying, nope, can't take that fight. Question is now, is Life going to leave Steppan be? It does look like he will.
Yeah.
This can still go either way, actually.
I was going to say, I think all three players have a chance in this one. I think Steppan's probably going to require a little more luck than the other two players. However, that Blade Master can still be very ferocious if he manages to get one fight to go in his way.
Everyone wants this mine.
I told you, that's a very valuable mine. And Life being very forgiving and giving it to him.
Wow, that was surprising.
I don't know. I think Life knows he probably could use the help against Orange, and
I
if he
think
gives
so,
the mine
yeah.
away, then that's definitely going to give him a teammate.
I think both
if
Life
Steppan
and
takes
Steppan
it.
realize that they can't take this 1v1 against Lightweight right now, so Life does not want to antagonize Steppan.
Yeah.
But this is going to be pretty much the last of Steppan's gold that goes into this expansion.
Stepin is going lightweight again. I noticed that Stepin has a bad end game. He usually does not know what to do in the final segments of the game. It's like he's always hesitating who has the most gold, who is the strongest, and we might see this again.
Yeah, it's certainly always tough to be able to make the correct decision. I mean, easy from our point as the observers here. However, you are correct that it seems more often than not Stepin will overcommit, I think is a better word.
Yeah.
However, it looks like Life is going to be coming into Lightweight's main right now, so Lightweight may not even actually hit Stepin and may be forced to go ahead and TP back before he can do any damage. And in come the Chimera is just doing a phenomenal amount of damage to the towers, taking him down instantaneously. Panda's going to come in here and do some damage, although not quite that Breath of Fire level 5, or level 3, but level 5. And Panda looking kind of dangerous right now. It does get a Hex off, and Stomp will be going off momentarily. Let's see if he purges it to follow up and tries to stun it. Panda is going to be able to TP out, though. So Life actually has a pretty nice army to counter Lightweight right now, I think.
Actually, yeah, and Lightweight is not 100 supply. He lost half of his towers and lost the TP also.
Yep, and doesn't really have the gold to rebuild any more army. You gotta presume that's gonna be saved for buying TPs and other essentials like that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he didn't use Charm in that fight. I noticed he didn't take anything away from Life, and he's been a little hesitant to use it recently in his fights for Stepin as well, and that's certainly a big advantage that he does have.
That's like the whole advantage of the DR once you get into the late game.
Well, and Silence is ridiculous too, but...
Yeah, but Charm and units and like minor fights, so good.
True. So again, he doesn't... Oh, nope, didn't get Charm off, it doesn't look like. Tried to do. But that's wasted opportunity there. I mean, every time you let him get away without taking a unit, that's 4 food off your army.
4 food. That matters when you're running down on like 1,000 gold.
Absolutely. Life the only one with any substantial gold left at the moment. Stepin is building up his Great Hall at the moment, so he should be able to start mining momentarily. And Life about to go ahead and drain out this last 200 that was left there.
This is definitely a point where Life needs to be going for this, or at least Life, I think, wants very much to get Lightweight out of the game so that he doesn't have to let Stepin have that expo for very long.
Yep, I completely agree with that. I like the fact that Lightweight is actually coming out here to try and counteract Life. If he stays in his base, then they'll probably get hit 2v1 at the same time, so being very proactive here does take away a Chimera, which are his biggest threats right now, and continues to mana burn that Dark Ranger, so that's actually going to be pretty costly for Lightweight in the long term, that he doesn't have the mana to use Mass Silence. However, it does look like he'll go back to his mana fountain. And not very many bats for Lightweight. Lightweight's going to need to do something important with whatever he decides to use the bats on.
Yep. And the fight's going.
We do have the siege coming in from the right side for Stepin. So Lightweight pretty much just trapped in the middle here, and unfortunately his towers, as Magadansky was referring to earlier, not going to be able to do much for him. I mean, they're buying him a little bit of time, I guess. However, this is going to be a tough fight for Lightweight because he is getting hit from both sides. I'm sure he'd rather be taking it 1v1 V1 later on, then 2v1 at the same time. Big Breath of Fire there, and nice Charm on the bear. I like the use of that. Roar is going to do a lot for Lightweight's army.
Yeah, he saved the bear. That's pretty important.
Yep, absolutely. Unlike the Chimeras, which will just die instantaneously to the Hippos. And it also means that was the only bear that Life had, and Life will not be able to use Roar when he needs to. But this could be the deciding factor in the game right now. Lightweight doing a nice job of just biding his time, not overcommitting to either player, and staying alive. I mean, I think that's all you can really ask for from him at this moment, and the longer he waits, the more you can use Charm, too, which is nice. Just trying to focus people out of his base and do little bits of damage, the most he can. Panda coming in, continuing to do a lot of damage. Thank God that's not level 5. Otherwise, Lightweight's base would be even worse shape than it is currently. Gotta believe that Lightweight's gonna try and take down this Panda right now, because if he can force a TP out, he'll be able to take down Stepin. Does charm that Chimera, and big stomp goes off for the Panda. However, he is gonna have to back up here because he doesn't want to lose too much food. Cycling do go off on the Tauren there, not a huge deal for him. He's doing a good bit of damage. I mean, every 330 that he takes away from the Chimeras is adding a gold advantage to him. Losing Panda, not a huge deal. Or sorry, losing Torin, not a huge deal because he can bring those back momentarily. Goes off, uses those bats. Not sure if that was the greatest usage ever, but we do have down to 3 Chimeras left for Life, so Life not in good shape. Steppan continuing to do damage on the other side of his base, and Panda getting very low. Demon Hunter does use meta here, gets his ultimate off before he is silenced. So this fight could be very interesting to see how it goes. Lightweight at 63, Life at 54, and this could be Keeper of the Grove going down momentarily. Keeper of the Grove does get out in time. So rest of the base being wrecked, though. Not sure if Lightweight has enough to take on Steppan.
Probably not.
I don't think so. He has no bats anymore. Steppan has a lot of
30
wyverns.
food down. This is looking really bad for Lightweight right now, I think. I mean, that happens when you get teamed like this, though.
I was going to say, Lightweight is playing phenomenally right now. Not sure what else he could do differently. We'll talk about that post-game, obviously. However, he needs to go ahead and do something to Steppan right now because he is going to be completely food blocked, not that he has the gold to make it matter. And Steppan, smartly, probably just going to TP out here. Not going to try and take the fight. He may or may not have been able to do it. However, probably for the best for Steppan with the limited army that he has.
Honestly, I think Steppan's really becoming the favorite to win at this point. He's got the expansion up. He's been mining the crap out of it for quite a while, and he's going to be able to keep getting a lot more gold out of it. And Lightweight, which the guy he was really struggling to deal with, is pretty much screwed. So
he's not chatting. I'm actually surprised that he's not trying at least to point out that he's already more or less dead, and that both Life and Steppan have an expansion.
Can we talk about the fact that Life is actually mining this at 50? I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to last very long, but talk about balls of steel right now.
Yeah,
well,
and Steppan is mining at 100.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. But FaiL.Life is going to be much harder to protect.
Yeah, and as we can see, it's not going to be protected.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at this point, I think... Well, I don't know. Let's go for... Okay, we can pick our winners. You think Steppan's got it pure B? Who do you think has a MAGA?
It's... Well, actually, I think still Life has an edge. His heroes are well stacked. They're slowly getting some levels. He also has an Infernal Stone, so he can use that very well against the casters to stun them and then focus them down with chimeras. We'll see if for instance Steppan hits level 6 on his Tauren. This might be a eventual game changer, but it doesn't seem like.
So Steppan's doing pretty well in this fight so far, and oof, Lightweight's can be brutally fucked over here by Life coming in from the other side of him, and that'll be a TP out for Lightweight there, probably smart on his part. Did go down to 49. I gotta say, I think I like Steppan's chances right now too. The only problem will be, does he lose a lot to Lightweight in one of these fights? If not, I think he can take Life. Life clearly has the advantage gold-wise, although he's got to rebuild entirely to 100. But Steppan's done well for his Life so far. So I think that Steppan, if he maintains as he's playing currently, smart and not losing units that he doesn't have to, has a very good shot at winning this.
The one thing is Steppan has so many guys on that gold mine.
I mean, if you got him, no reason not to.
Wood for some reason.
You can never have too much wood.
I don't understand that choice. He can kill like
Lightweight losing a wyvern there that he should not.
There. And be at 80 actually, because he's at 90 right now. Oh
yeah.
So Maga, what do you think each player has to do in order to win the game right now? What can they do to change the game around for themselves? Since right now it's pretty even, although Lightweight probably at the disadvantage.
Okay, well, I think Lightweight, what he needs to do is to talk. He actually needs to convince one of the players to, for instance, Life to team down Steppan, or he needs the attention to go to somebody else, not him.
Yep.
Life actually needs to start thinking how to kill Steppan, because Steppan has a pretty big base with some towers in there, a lot of bats, and he has just one full 100 supply army in gold. So this is pretty important. I actually think his best choice is to have one of the orcs killed, doesn't matter, Steppen or lightweight, because then if he gets batted and all his chimeras are dead, he can still I don't know, sew it out, whatever is left from the orc afterwards. But against 2 orcs, that would be difficult. And Steppen, I think he also needs somebody to be dead, probably lightweight. That's my opinion.
That's fair enough. I think it's probably good advice here. Interesting. I'm not sure if Life is killing off the wood peons because he just wants free experience, if he's actually going to go ahead and start hitting Steppen. So we may actually see exactly what you're talking about. Life may go ahead and hit Steppen here and realize he needs a little bit of help to take him down, although... Oh, no, apparently he says... Wait, that actually looked really scary.
Well, no, in the chat he said that he wanted some peon XP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There was
Steppen
He did a big favor to Steppen because Steppen is now 80.
That's true.
Well, he's
However,
actually
he's
he
only
was
going to
80.
go for wood.
True. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
So lightweight does have a wisp here, which actually would allow him to hide a tree of life, which could be pretty viable late game.
Yeah, that was actually a good move. And he has an expansion set up on
At
50.
Yep. So if they can, unfortunately he's going to get himself 2v1'd again, but if he managed to get a little bit of time off between attacks or something, then would have helped him out significantly.
Orange needs much more manip. He could be making a pretty good case for one of them to go for the other guys, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And unfortunately, I mean, that's the problem when you have players that don't scout all that well, is you have no idea who to hit, and it makes it very easy to convince them to hit other people, but it also makes it very easy for people to be convinced that they should be hitting you. Life continuing to stay at 50. I'm not sure why he's not building an army up. Maybe it's just because he wants to see who's left and when he needs to make it.
Yeah. And also, I think they just do not want to let lightweight get some gold, because with these levels and his micro, he would be a bigger threat. It's both in Steppen's and in Life's interest to have lightweight dead, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely
As
agree.
unfair as this sounds, it's just objectively looking at the situation. That's what it is.
Although I'm still not overly convinced that Life is going to be able to take Steppen 1v1 at the moment. I think he needs lightweight to do some damage to Steppen before he manages to die. And unfortunately for Life, that does not look like it's going to happen, because lightweight is going to go ahead and just kill off that demon hunter.
Yeah, and still no staffs. I mean, how many times?
Staff. It was on the wrong hero for him.
Ugh.
Okay, but I mean, how many times he's going to lose heroes? It's just incredible.
And Steppen probably very confused as to why he's being allowed free run to go ahead and kill Lightweight's base. Lightweight coming in here at the 50v80 battle. Let's see how he can manage to handle this one. He does have the hero advantage right now. Huge stomp from that Tauren Chieftain. Looks like he's going to try and focus down this Shadow Hunter and make him TP out. That is the weakest hero that he can force the TP on. However, Steppen doing a nice job of keeping him disabled at the moment, and now the Shadow Hunter for Lightweight looking very low. He is going to be forced to chase out of there, not going to actually go ahead and bite for it. SteppinRazor, Shadow Hunter looking low as well. Steppen doing a nice job of controlling this fight so far, it looks like. Unfortunately, no towers for Lightweight. Lightweight is going to lose this Dark Ranger, it looks like. Dark Ranger does die there, so that's game over for Lightweight, I think. Played very well. Oh, Shadow Hunter goes down for Steppen.
What?
That could be just the edge that was actually needed for Life to be able to take advantage of it. Depends on how long Lightweight plans to chill out and stick around for. But Life might be smart to go ahead and make a move on Steppen now.
And he already did, actually. He killed the peons.
I was going to say, I looked over there and saw they were dead. He is not pumping units yet, though, and does have his Demon Hunter coming out, so be interesting to see how that goes for him. But this could be a base cut up. We do have an altar going up, actually, for Lightweight over in the bottom corner here. So nice move on his part to get that off. And he's actually got more gold than you'd think. Did he sell items while I was not looking?
No, he's just at 50, mining the gold.
Okay, so it's purely from mining currently?
Yeah.
Alright, well, that makes things a little bit more interesting then.
Yeah, I think at this point, this is actually getting interesting, because now we're going to start seeing that team kind of break up. The alliances are no longer so strong, because now everyone kind of has almost a reason to not team with anybody. Because because everyone's very scary right now.
Yep, and one person can make a huge difference in who wins at all moments, probably. Unfortunately, losing that bear did not help lightweight, and this is the part where you now begin to see the Blade Master shine over Dark Ranger. The first 75% of the game, we've seen the Dark Ranger be the dominant hero within everything. You can see why you go Dark Ranger. It's so strong in team fights. However, once you get down to this hero arena, Blade Master really does shine. And has Steppan scouted the altar
Torn
yet?
Chieftain.
Curious
No,
to see what's
he
going
saw
on.
the peons, and I think he's chasing the peons.
So it doesn't look
I
like
gotta
he's
say-
seen it. That is good news for lightweight.
The Torn Chieftain, though, is so good in these late game fights.
Oh,
Once it hits
absolutely.
5, oh, it's just that huge stun. It lasts so long. It's just such a fight changer.
So I think Steppan actually just going to take down Life now. We may see Steppan v Life giving lightweight a chance to get back into this.
Although lightweight has very little in the
Yeah,
way of everything.
he does have hero levels though. I'm not sure how much help that'll give him, but
But he has no items, and that I don't think they will be very useful in the hero arena, at least versus Steppan.
probably
Versus
he's got a
Steppel,
got
big
such a-
maybe.
Big army.
Yeah, well,
On the other hand, the more units there are, the more that lightweight could charm and start his own army.
yeah. Actually, he has no casters. He has no bloodlust. He has no spirit link, and this is very important for a hero arena. We should drop rectify.
I did that yesterday, like 3 minutes into the game, and Rek got so pissed at me.
I'll drop him.
Poor Rectify with his terrible internet.
Oh well.
He can watch the stream, it's all good.
Yeah,
You know,
of
he
course.
said that I'm weird for liking cookies and cream ice cream. So I'm glad he got dropped.
And Life's going to go
Judge
ahead and
me.
actually attack Steppan now. So this is an important part of the game. I mean, he definitely needs to take out some of these towers if he wants to have a chance later. Still not committing to getting a larger army. He does have the Inferno Stone on his Demon Hunter. And if he manages to lose another hero in a terrible situation again, this is going to be very bad news.
He should just TP right now.
Yeah, that Panda doesn't have any boots on it. Does staff it out there. Actually, he doesn't have boots on any of his
Oh.
heroes.
Yeah,
Steppan
actually,
once
he
again
does.
the only one mining, right?
Steppan is the only one mining, and he is mining at 80, so that'll be helpful for him. It does look like Lightweight actually can go hit Steppan, probably.
I'm not sure if
I'm-
it's the correct decision though, because these peons are going to get slaughtered very easily if it gets scouted, and together with the whole, that's just like 600 gold lost. I don't know. I do not fully agree with setting an expansion right now.
Yeah, I think it's
Yes, how
risky
it goes.
when, I mean, at all times in this late game, if there's only one mine, whoever's mining is going to be in trouble.
Yeah,
It's like 375 gold if he loses all of them, which he can mine fairly quickly.
I was going to say, well, he was about at 500, 600, I think, when he started this, so we'll see if he makes it back here. But I mean, it's also, you lose the Great Hall, which presumably is going to go down. Although, no, it does look like he's going to TP in. Let's see if he manages to take out the Pandarian Brewmaster. He's going to be in good shape. Ooh, finally using that staff and using it well there.
This is a fight.
Oh, no TP on.
I was going to say,
Lightweight.
Lightweight is going to be in trouble here. That is going to be game over for the Dark Ranger, I think. Ooh, good stomp there.
It's actually fighting, and
As
was
I said,
a nice
apparently he's
silence.
taking it to him. So not going quite the way I expected this to. I thought that Lightweight was just trying to get in here with a little bit of hit and run, but he is using those stomps and silences to great effect. He is losing pretty much all of his Wind Riders, so that's going to be a problem for him if he wanted to have any type of late game. However, he's making Steppan pay for this, and Steppan's Shadowhunter does not have a
Steppan's
TP on it. This could be bad news for Steppan, too. Does Hex down that turn chieftain. Not sure why he goes for that with the Rejuvenation still a possibility, or Reincarnation, sorry. Lightweight probably not going to be overly shocked if he loses that.
he'll
Life
probably
continuing to
stomp.
do damage here. I was going to say, we'll see a Stomp come right back out once that Torn Chieftain gets up, but the Shadowhunter and Dark Ranger both looking pretty low right now. Shadowhunter doesn't get past the potion. Shadowhunter does not have enough to heal, and down goes the Shadowhunter. So Lightweight may have managed to do just enough damage to Steppan to prevent him from being able to deal with Life.
That was. What? Why would you move your Shadow Hunter beside the reincarnating Torn Chieftain? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Ah!
and he had no mana for Hex, neither for Healing Wave. Yeah, that was very clumsy.
So do you think at this point Lightweight is just trying to grudge hit Steppen?
No, I truly believe that he actually thinks Stepin is the one that has gold, and
Okay.
also he knows that he cannot take him Hero Arena. So I think that's why he's doing this.
Makes sense. It's
Oh, well.
always hard to tell if they think that somebody is the strongest or if they're just trying to make him pay, because Steppen was pretty much the one organizing the teaming on Lightweight all game long, and it wouldn't be terribly surprising if that made... Ooh, Tree of Life going up for Lightweight, but it's going to be scouted by Life there, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, Life has done such a good job putting himself into the premier position. I think it's done phenomenal. Just kind of, on the sidelines for the past 30 minutes or whatever, and now he's in a really good spot.
Yeah, and he's continuing to do pretty good damage with his heroes, aside from occasionally losing a hero he shouldn't, but that Panda's not far away from 6, and if we get... Persuade left. Keep of the Grove is going to be level 5 soon, which that level 3 Entangle is pretty dangerous for Orc players when the Night Elf player is going to go pretty much pure Chimera when he can.
Which is, he's got, 3k gold to invest in the Chimeras now? I mean, that's
Another 9
It's
Chimeras.
very good.
And Lightweight calling out GG.
He actually
Ah, wow.
he actually didn't leave.
Well,
I think that's going to hurt Steppen.
yeah. I think that might be a good game.
Well, that was surprising, but for me it was. I was actually surprised. Why didn't Lightweight try to manipulate or get the attention out of him some way?
What does it mean by the bot is kicking everybody? That doesn't sound like a good thing. Hopefully this gets
I
ended
don't
soon. Big Hex goes down on that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter does not have a TP on it. Panda gonna have to try and TP out here. And how much damage can Steppen do in the time that it takes a TP to go off? Not quite enough, it doesn't look like.
As long as Red doesn't pretty much completely mess this up, I think he's got this. He just needs to, buy a bit of time.
Yeah, although there is no Tree of Life in his main, so when Steppen goes up here and tries to take out these Chimera Roosts, that could be a huge, huge problem for Life.
It could be, though. You're right. But he's going to have a level 6 Demon Hunter coming in, so...
Yeah, depends how well Steppen can go ahead and Bladestorm here, I think. That's not what I was thinking, but... Steppen! Go ahead and Bladestorm.
Would it be enough if he did? I mean, it's a lot of mana that he'd have to use.
He can take control of the fountain as well.
Which apparently he's not going to, but... wow, that's a lot of bats. I didn't know Steppen had that many.
Oh,
Where
wow,
were
you're
those
right.
hiding? Okay, so Steppen
didn't
could be
see
turning
those.
this game around quite a bit more. He must have been hiding those and we didn't see him. Oof. Too bad he didn't get those in a little earlier.
Yeah.
Meta does go off for that Demon Hunter, so maybe a question of just waiting it out at this point and seeing if Life can... or waiting for Life's Metamorphosis to go off of the Demon Hunter. But he does manage to pop out the rest of the Chimeras there, so that's not going to be a huge problem. He can make a few more if he wants to, and Steppen trying to draw Life out of his base. So, I don't know. Predictions on this fight, guys? I think it should go to Life, but I'm not feeling very confident about that.
He has an Inferno Stone,
Steppen does?
and he uses
Life
Stone
used, yeah.
Casters.
Okay, and then
Clumps
yeah,
of
that was
the
a good
Chimeras. Oh man.
Oof.
All casters dead though.
Yep. This is... He's focusing down those Chimeras nicely, though. It's hard to tell, man.
That was
Panda
a
could be-
massacre of units here.
Yeah.
Well,
Steppen
they-
did save a Troll Witch Doctor there. But Life's Inferno continuing to do good damage here. If he can get that Keep of the Grove out, and hopefully he can save this Demon Hunter, because it is looking pretty low right
He
now.
has no
Steppen
stone.
not going to hex it.
No.
There we go. He is going to get back into space, going to go ahead and manage to use it. Surprised we haven't gotten another mana burn on that Shadow Hunter to completely take it out. Maybe we'll see that now, maybe not. Life does have enough to produce another Chimera if he wants to, or buy another TP, and he is mining as well. So
Yeah.
single Wyvern going to take a while to take that down, and I think that Life probably thinking he's in pretty good shape, and he's probably pretty correct.
Yeah, I would
He
agree.
should take his Inferno as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
Should
go ahead and
probably
send
get
that
that.
Infernal into Steppen's base to go ahead and take out some units there.
Yeah, or just use it when defending the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he forgot about it, though.
That served its purpose, even if it was just that one.
Yeah, it's true.
I was going to say, that was quite the game changer there, and I'm not sure Steppen knew he had it. I know, I actually kind of forgot that Life had it, but might have been in a completely different fight if he hadn't had such nice positioning with that stone.
Yeah, I mean, all the casters were completely dead
And
after
it was
the
just one wave
Infernal
of
stun,
Chimera going in.
and then the Breath of Fire. Oh well, this can
Really,
still
those
go either way,
casters-
though.
Do it.
What were you guys saying?
I cannot hear you, Pure B. It's getting the signal is a bit interrupting.
Huh, that's
Uh-oh.
weird. I can hear him, actually. Usually I can't
No,
hear
I
him.
cannot hear him. I hear you well, but not him
Huh.
for
Well,
some reason.
we'll hope that'll fix up soon, and this game will probably end soon. But what do you think about that decision to TP in there? I mean, I think he kind of had to, but that's another 350 gold, and he's not going to be able to buy that out. And he actually still doesn't have a Tree of Life in his main or anywhere near it. So if Steppen is able to go ahead and use that Speed Ore to good effect, then he may be able to just go for some hit and runs and take out buildings while Life is forced to chase him around the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And since he has no boots on his keeper,
Mm-hmm.
you'll
Or
never be
Panda.
able to entangle the Shadow Hunter or something.
Yep, and Life managing to just barely keep this alive, but does look like it should go down, you would think, maybe. I don't know, this is taking longer than I would think it would, and there it goes.
Okay.
Does go down now,
Those-
but he is going to TP out, so nice move by Steppen, going ahead and keeping it safe there, but is going to lose that Wyvern. Not sure how much that actually helps or hurts him, but that was the last unit he had. So Steppen really completely out of gold at this point, and just looking around, I don't know, do you think he should be selling off any items on his heroes? I personally think that he should probably just keep them, but it does look like he is going to sell them off for units.
Well, I guess he wants to make a Spirit Walker or maybe a Shaman. Yeah, a Shaman. He's making a Shaman.
And
a Witch Doctor.
as well, yep. And maybe he might build a few bats as well, though that might go for a TP instead. But bats could actually help if he tries to go for the sieging his base route.
He actually sold almost all of his items.
Yeah, so still scary heroes, but not nearly as scary anymore. I mean, that Blade Master earlier was pretty much invulnerable, you'd think, and then it's pretty easily taken, not easily, but it's very feasibly taken down at this point. We have seen Life pretty much switch over to a pure Druid of the Talon army, which kind of interesting move here. I like that he's brought the Dryads in, and Druids of the Talon should manage to take out the heroes in terms of just cycling them and keep them out of action, but they're not going to be able to do the pure damage that he may need.
Yeah, and also Life's heroes are still fully stacked.
Mm-hmm. As I said, they're going to be pretty hard to kill.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, the... never mind. I thought the Panda had less health than the Keeper of the Grove, but I just couldn't read numbers.
He made two torrents. Why? I don't think I agree with the decision of Steppen to make units compared to keeping the items, because all heroes by themselves
Yeah.
are scary.
I mean, it's
And
not that hard to kill a Tauren, and
Yeah.
the Spirit Walker is able to be hit by magic, which Steppen has or Life has quite a bit of in his army. But that Blade Master, the amount of damage it can do by itself is pretty phenomenal. And this could be a big opportunity for a Blade Storm right now in the middle of his
maybe
army,
he-
but
yeah.
he is not doing it. Where is that Blade
if
Storm?
he gets a good Blade Storm, this can change the.
There goes the Cyclone, though.
Okay.
Nice job just taking him out of action there, and all these casters are going to die. I mean,
Well, he
that
lost
was
the
all
war.
that gold wasted. And there goes the Blade Storm. Maybe a little bit too late now. Life absolutely knowing what's going on. Surprised we don't. There we go. Yep, they do go into their bird form, and heroes are doing a good amount of damage here, but they are not going to be able to keep this on their own, I don't think.
And Blade Master dies,
Yep.
and that's GG in my opinion.
Ooh,
Yep.
It's GG.
Poor Step, and he played that well to the very end.
GG.
All right, so I got to say, that was one of our better games, I think. It's a shame Lightweight got teamed out. He played incredibly well. However, I think that pretty much everybody played well, except maybe Vova. Sorry, Vova.
Vova played the best, had the most heart.
He did have the most heart. But let's just
And
go around
most
here. So,
dedication.
Kirby, what are your takeaways from this game?
I would say, if I'm ever in a sort of situation as an orc player where I have two people teaming me, I would probably be chatting my ass off. I might not be saying anything important, but if they after I was done, if they were killing me, it would only be to shut me up. And I think that maybe Lightweight could have taken something from that.
Okay, Mago, what are your takeaways?
Well, I am actually surprised by FaiL.Life's game because I don't remember him having a good macro and good decision making. He actually played his cards very well in the end. He attacked Steppan at the right moment. He wanted Lightweight dead, and he got it, and it was in his interest. Some sloppy hero losses, and not having a staff almost throughout the game, but overall, actually, he played really well.
I was going to say, it is kind of the opposite of the normal play. I mean, he is a solo player, and he normally has phenomenal micro, but didn't quite grow into the free-for-all sense. I mean, maybe this is the bloom of his free-for-all career right now. We could be seeing this being the game changer for Life's, I don't want to say career, because obviously it's not that important, but Life's free-for-all involvement. This may be what takes him over onto the free-for-all side as the solo side. My thoughts on the game, I mean, I think Lightweight's big problem was he got too dominant too early on, which doesn't sound like a problem, but he was unable to actually take out one of the players. He clearly tried to take Steppan out, however, Life was there to combat him at every chance and make sure that Lightweight had to come back, and it's really tough when you are the strongest player. Both players are afraid of you, and there's really nothing you can do to change it over. I mean, eventually Life did flip over to hitting Steppan at the end, which was the right move. However, I'm not sure that either of the players should have let up on Lightweight at any point in the game. Even if Lightweight was chatting to try and convince him of that, I think it was in both Steppan and Life's interest to take out Lightweight when they did. But it was a very interesting game overall. I thought all three of them played the three-way very nicely. It's not the way you want to see it come out as an observer sometime. However, I think it went over really well. And congratulations to everybody on the game they played. We hope to see Steppan and Lightweight back soon. I'm sure we will. And congratulations to FaiL.Life on managing to sub and join FML Season 18. So, Pureby, if you have any parting thoughts that you want to give us?
If you take a pig and you put it into a cake, like one of those big ones, like for stripper cakes, and like they have the person in the pops out. If it was a pig instead, you would have a bacon cake.
That's true. And that is Sir Pureby, folks. You can find him on YouTube at youtube.com/Sir Pureby. I'll go ahead and link him in this cast as well. So yeah, if you like pigs, bacon, and bacon cakes, make sure to follow him on YouTube. Maga, what about you? Any parting words for us?
Not really. It was an enjoyable game. Actually, pretty action-packed. I liked it.
All right. Well, on that note, we are going to go ahead and sign out. Make sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/freeforallmasters. And make sure to go ahead and follow us on YouTube. Thank you all for listening, and have a nice day.